Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually going to do something that's a little bit different. I'm going to be interviewing my friend who I've known forever, and I mean forever, Sarah Aris. She is the author of a newly released book. It just came out a couple of weeks ago, and I had the pleasure of working on this book with her. It's called The Adventures of Charlie and Baxter. And if you've seen past videos of my channel, you'll see like here and there when I worked on the project, like sneakily, because I didn't want to like reveal too much of it. But now that the book is released, I kind of want to go into full details about the book. I want her to talk about the inspiration behind it and just kind of have like a little casual conversation about the process. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to jump on this Zoom call and talk about our your upcoming book that I worked on with you.
Yeah, listen, it's our thing.
So we've known each other for a very, very long time, and I mean very long. It's got to be middle school long. So, um, 15 years
Ooh,
maybe.
gonna
Being
age us?
generous.
Yeah, it's like 16 years, I think. Oh my God, it's been so long.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna age each other. It's fine. I think we're still pretty young and like youthful, so whatever. It's been it's been a while, but yeah, we have like so much history, and like for as long as that I've known you, you've always been writing poems, just little short stories, like way back when. So like it's great to see you actually like make this very big project that actually has a lot of heart to it. If you don't mind, would you go into a little bit about the book?
Sure. So, what we are working on is actually like a full series. So we're hoping to have many more books to come. But it follows an 8-year-old sister and 10-year-old brother named Charlie and Baxter. And basically, they go downstairs and they find a robot in their basement. And they figure out that by using coding, they're able to go back in time and they're able to help different historical like events actually happen.
So incredible. Like, I know when we first started working on this and you like came to me and you were just like, this is what I'm working on. I was just like, you could just see like the importance of all these characters and just what it is. And like, I got super excited right off the bat because I love working on projects that actually like have a lot of meaning to it that is just like, like it's going to change someone, you know?
I hope so. I know that one of the things that made me really excited about developing this was again because I wanted to address the fact that we don't have a lot of diversity when it comes to tech. Like we are surrounded by so many tech things, but then when you look at, I think it was a 2019 study, it showed that in Silicon Valley, there were less than 5% of population that's in tech that's diverse. And we're talking like Black, Indigenous, Latinx, like all minority groups put together, less than 5% of them are out in Silicon Valley. And yet technology is such a huge part of our lives in so many ways. And I wanted to make a change. I wanted to get more kids interested and exposed to it. Yeah, to see what happens. Like I would want to basically contribute to a more diverse tech future, made up by all of us. So yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the characters. Like, what inspired you to make Charlie who she is, or Baxter who he is in Odyssey as it is?
So all the characters follow pretty traditional gender roles. So we have Charlie, who is a girl, and she is the one who does the technology because when we're talking about the diversity issue currently in the tech space, there's not a lot of women who are in that field. And I think that a lot of times it's projected the way that we often try to put gender on different things. Like I think that technology is kind of pushed more on like the traditional like boy versus girl. So I wanted Charlie to kind of embody that and be the one who charges forward like on the coding. And then we have Baxter who is just like a bit of a nerd, just loves to like just be in his books. He loves to read about history, and it gives me, Tommy Pickles and Chucky vibes, like from the Rugrats, where Charlie's more of like a Tommy who's just kind of that go-getter charging forward and is very like fearless and just running after things. And you've got Baxter who's like a Chucky, who's kind of cautious, but wants to do what Tommy wants to do and like wants to, definitely partake in the adventure. But it's kind of thinking of like all the things that could go wrong and is just trying to plan ahead for it. And then you've got Odyssey, who is, for now, we just know is a robot that happens to be in the basement, but later on we get an opportunity to see what happens when Odyssey starts to learn the codes that Charlie and Baxter use and starts to predict what should happen next, but not necessarily in the way that helps Charlie and Baxter achieve their goals on their adventures.
Oh my God, we got a couple of teasers there, guys. So stay tuned. Definitely get this book now. And then like, I guess couple of little surprises are gonna happen in some later books. I
Yes.
love your description of the characters. Like I know when you like gave me a general overview, I knew for Charlie, like I wanted to make her design like as like colorful and as like bubbly, like soft edges, little bombs on her head. Cause like she just seems like something that someone who would bounce. And I don't know if this is the right literary turn, so correct me if I'm wrong, but like Charlie sounds like the foil to Baxter. I think that's right. Like when people are two
Oh,
opposites.
yes. Okay. I
Ooh.
don't remember if that's it, but if it is, then yes, that's exactly what I was going for.
Oh my God, we're going back to like, what was this? Like
I
I
feel
don't
like
even know.
seventh grade, like
So like I loved drawing Charlie or like trying to design her as something that was like bubbly, like rounded, that like she could have bounced. So like her curls, like if she was animated, like her curls would bounce if she moved. So she was like free flowing, like carefree. And then for Baxter, I wanted to make him like more a little angular, like but not too angular, like not too sharp, because he's just a little like withdrawn, just like kind of sneaking in, just like, I don't know if we should do this, but okay, like his
yep.
sister's giving him the courage to just kind of like peep out of his little shell. And for Odyssey, I knew I wanted to do something that was like sleek and modern, and just like digestible, just like definitive features. So like a box, basically just made up of boxes and cylinders. So I loved like drawing here. I'm going to show what they look like. Yeah. So it was really like fun to draw them and try to come up with their definitive features that would go well with their characteristics in the book. And I love how you like wrote them out. They're so cute, and I think they're very lovable. Like people are going to be like, oh no, Charlie or Baxter, yes, please do that. You need to do like you need to be a little brave, and like you can do this.
Right. And I think that that's going to be the fun part too, to see how the illustrations change alongside with their characteristics, because of course, like they're dynamic characters, like that's the goal. So Baxter will start getting a bit more confident and might be the one who's instigating, future adventures. And so how does that now shape how he will develop? And then Charlie, who's going to think things through just a tiny bit more and maybe like assess things a little bit. And how is that going to, how's that going to develop as well? And the idea of just each book personifying like that world as well. Yeah, so it's gonna be a great time to just kind of develop like what do they continue to look like as they grow and learn and experience different things and start to figure out ways to integrate a bit more into the historical places that they go to. So that's going to be a really cool ride.
I agree. Like history and technology, and just having minority lead characters is going to be super important for like the future generations. And like I'm totally on board.
I'm grateful. Thank you so much for getting on this journey. And I don't know if your like readers know, but honestly, it was literally just a random call. And was like, hey, Steph, like we haven't spoken in a couple of years, but here's what I'm doing. I have been watching you draw on napkins and tables and arms and like in every single thing since sixth grade. I see what you can do and like you can bring this to life. Like, are you on board? And you were just like, sure, it sounds cool. Let's do it. And then it started like it was so like nonchalant, didn't really know like if it was gonna go anywhere or where, and we've now made this thing. So thank you for jumping on board and like not even hesitating. I'm so excited for the second book. It's like I'm just like, of course I'm focusing on like getting the word out for this first book, but just knowing how the stories are going to develop, like I just can't wait to share the full like evolution of the Charlie and Baxter series. So I'm excited.
but like it's great to see like the initial reaction about on this book and how like it's being received by everybody else.
Yes, I 100% agree. Like when I have an opportunity to stop and tell someone about it, they're on board and they immediately buy it. So it's cool to see that people are aware and they want to know more and they're excited about this. So it's just about getting the word out there.
Before I let you go, do you have anything else you want to like say?
Sure. So there is also a robot giveaway that is happening. So if you follow the Instagram at Charlie and Baxter Adventures, you can check that out. And what it is you follow us, you send a picture of your reader reading the book, and you leave a review on Amazon, and your name will be entered into the giveaway, and the winner will get a programmable MBot, which is like a robot bot that you can actually program using, I believe, Scratch, which is a coding language created to help kids continue to learn the building blocks of just coding languages in general. They have a bit like there's enough consistency in the basic concepts that by learning that you're able to adapt it to different languages. So that would be the robot that I'd be giving away. The goal is to continue to give these robots out quarterly. So if you miss this one, they'll have an opportunity again, but definitely check that out as well at Charlie and Baxter Adventures on Instagram.
I'll also link that in the description as well. And also maybe a little picture of the robot. But yes, thank you so much for joining me. It was great to talk with you, and I can't wait to like share this with my YouTube audience. And I hope you have an amazing day today.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Bye. So this was my very first time designing a book, and in the interview, I went into detail how I created the characters, but I didn't talk about like the actual making of the book. And it's been a hot minute since I've used InDesign, but luckily because it's an Adobe program and I use mostly Adobe Illustrator, there's kind of some keys and shortcuts that were and tools that were basically the same and can translate well. So I didn't have too much of a problem with the program itself. It was just kind of like, okay, so if I'm gonna make a book for a kid, I want to make sure I'm using the right font that is not only like big enough and is readable, but not but it's also not too big, like kiddie kindergarten level reading. Like this book is aimed for kids that are between the ages 8 and 10, like around that area. So I wanted to make sure that at least if it's printed, like is it readable enough? Is everything aligned? I tried my hardest not to have one sentence or one word sentences on its own line. The actual dividing up the chapters and making sure everything flowed well with the illustrations was quite a bit of a challenge for me. There was at some points when the illustrations were already done and they were already approved, that when I actually put them inside the InDesign file to create the overall book, like I had to go back into illustration and like tweak certain parts of it so that text can actually like line up with where I wanted them to line up. So there's a lot of like on my end, just like a lot of editing after the fact and just trying to I'm not that much of a perfectionist, but I can be a little bit like neurotic about the little details about that. So I had to go in and just like tell myself like some of this is okay. It's your first time, and the more you do it, the more it's gonna come out even better and stronger. But I think I did a very good job with this book in the terms of layout and design. The inside looks very nice and clean, and when I actually saw the book, when I got the first proof, like I told my husband, like this looks like an actual book, like this just looks like a book that you find in a library or something. So definitely like super proud of how visually it looks on the inside. And also the outside, the cover, I loved having a little bit of creative freedom with the cover. I had done a couple of different options for Sarah, and she was very constructive with what she wanted and the feel of the cover, because the cover has to be like the most enticing thing for kids. So when I got feedback on the first cover, the main thing she like mentioned is like, we need to tie in the tech stuff to make sure like it's bam, like kids can see this and like know immediately that there's something techy, there's something like otherworldly there too. So when I went to go do the redesign of the cover, I wanted to make sure that I nailed all the aspects of the book. So I know I wanted all three characters center stage, just kind of like a comic book. So, like an introduction to a comic book character, you want to see what they look like immediately. This is kids' first introduction to the characters, so we need them like in the center, full point of view. And I wanted to make sure that their faces kind of gave away their characteristics in a way. So like Charlie is like happy, she's smiling, she's ready. Baxter is just like a little like concerned, he's scared, he's like looking, he's unsure of what he feels. And then there's Odyssey, who's just a strong unit between the two, who is in charge of, well, I guess not in charge, but who does a lot of the like the tech stuff, the actual tech thing that happens in the book. In the cover, I wanted to set up like a comic book spread to where, you know, we have our two characters, our two human characters who clearly have different feelings and different personalities, and the one strong character in the middle kind of being like supporting them both, and just almost in a way like, who is this guy? He's just in the middle. He's mysterious because he just has like a slight smile. I'm saying has a slight smile, and you don't know what it's thinking. I also wanted to do a little bit with the background to where I can also divide up the cover. So the idea behind Odyssey is that he's a time traveling robot. So I thought it would be great to kind of just divide horizontally two types of setting. One where it's just like outdoorsy, a little old, a little like vague old, like you know that it isn't contemporary. And in the bottom of the cover is just kind of like dimly lit. There's like books everywhere. There's like it might be a library of some sort, a basement. And I kind of want to divide the cover that way, but I also wanted to have like sparks coming out of this little tablet that kind of shows what's happening. So it's like transporting a new setting, a new time, and it's like adds to the mystery of what's happening. So I think I did very well for the cover, and I can't wait to like take it further for the next book. Now that I know more or less, like having done this before, what I know what to do for next time, it'll definitely get like easier in terms of coming up with compositions and being like a little more fun with it now that I know what to expect. If you guys are interested in this book, please definitely go to the Amazon link in the description below and buy the book and leave a review. If you are a teacher and you're interested in seeing this in your own school, you can reach out to me and I can connect you with Sarah, because she definitely wants to push to have this book in school, and I honestly think it's very important for kids to know that there are books for them if they want to get into tech. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye friends.